In the beginning of the drama, a dad is telling his little princess a story about a prince whose father the king locked him inside the mansion. He had no permission to go anywhere, even to see outside. Then one day a small girl tries to enter his mansion, and she cannot see the prince in this sad condition. So when she was trying to make him run away, the king saw her from above. With this, the story ends. Hearing this, the little princess says that if she was in that girl's place, she would go and hug the king. This is our drama's female lead, May. Her dad always taught her to behave nicely with everyone, so she is very kind-hearted too. The scene shifts after some years. May is grown up now. She is shifting to another place with her aunt. They got this house for a cheap price because a murder happened here some days ago. Aunt does not want to live here at all, but May says they have less money and only this house was possible. Then she sees her handsome neighbor, and her heart melts that alright, she is ready to stay here. But Aunt also sets some conditions for May, and May agrees quickly. She starts cleaning the house. When she goes inside the storeroom, she bumps into a boy who is our drama's male lead, Jian. She burned him with hot coffee. When she tries to apply toothpaste, he strictly tells her to stay away and says in this situation, we use ice, not toothpaste. Then she realizes he is a doctor. At home, when she sees Aunt applying toothpaste on the wound, she stops her and tells her to use ice. Aunt gets shocked thinking, when did this girl become so smart? Now we see our hero Jian, a famous heart specialist. Girls also love him because he is very handsome. Many girls try with him every day. Even his cousin sister tried too, but he never even lets her inside the house, and he does not eat the food she cooked. In his fridge, he has stored a lot of his food. Jian has everything in life, but not love. His mom calls him at night and tells him to come for family dinner. He says okay and disconnects the call quickly. In real life, Jian is like a lonely prince. Since childhood, his dad controlled him a lot. No going outside to play, just focus on studies. That is important and all that. And he always listens silently. May shifted here for a big reason, to convince her grandparents who were angry with her dad for a long time. Today their shop is closed, so she is walking around. She sees a dog and tries to call it, but it starts following her. When Aunt sees this outside the house, she scolds May that she told her to stay away from dogs. May hears this scolding from one ear and throws it out from the other, like she does not care. At home, Jian meets his cousin Chen. Chen's parents also came for dinner. Uncle and aunt always compare their son with Jian, calling him useless and praising Jian's success. Chen becomes very jealous. After listening to mom's taunt, Chen leaves without eating dinner. Jian's dad already selected a girl for him and wants him to marry soon and make a family. He tells Jian to go on a blind date. Jian gets irritated, but since dad said it, he cannot refuse. His dad always controlled his life. He remembers when he was training and stayed in water for too long. He got cold. His health was very bad and nanny took him to hospital. Mom and dad did not have time for him. They were busy giving lectures to others on how to live a perfect life. His dad was a famous author. When he came to see Jian, he only cared about studies. Whether he gets well or not, tomorrow he must go to school. Dad wanted him to become a doctor, and he became one, but still never complained. Now May comes outside to throw trash and meets Jian. That means he lives next door. She sees suspicious stains on his hand and his clothes. She thinks he is a killer. When she gets stuck in trash can, Jian hears her scream and comes to help. But she hits him instead and his condition becomes bad. He was helping, but she treated him like that, so he tells her to stay away. While going, he steps on dog poop and May cannot stop laughing. He sees a pipe and washes his foot there. Her hand is also hurt and she cannot walk properly. So Jian takes her to his house. At home, Aunt is very happy to see May's dad. When he asks where his daughter is, Aunt says she went to throw trash and will come soon. Jian treats May's injury and says since she cannot walk, she should stay at home. He says, I'll drop you myself. I just came to get the car key. But then he sees something on the kitchen counter. It looks like a chopped hand. Now she feels absolutely sure that Jian is a psycho. She quickly tells him and asks what this is. Jian explains that she misunderstood. He was just trying to bake a cake. He even makes her taste it. She loves it so much and says, pack some for me. I will take it home. When they go outside, that same dog is standing there, the one that chased her before. She tries to say hello, but Jian chases the dog Awa. Jian drops her home and makes sure she gets the cake box too. She is so happy to see her dad waiting. Watching this warm moment, Jian gets emotional and remembers his own parents. He quietly walks away. Inside, Auntie asks what happened, and she explains how a doctor helped her and even took her to his home. Auntie teases her like they are friends now. Next day, she goes to meet her grandparents again. Her dad knows she is trying hard to fix this relationship, but he also knows her grandparents will not open the door for them. Still, he lets her try. At the hospital, Jien's mom visits him. She wants him to get into a relationship now, but he says there is no need. Are you there to take care of me? In the next scene, Mei reaches the shop and introduces herself to her grandpa, but he throws her out again. Jien arrives to eat food and sees Mei there. She feels sad and sits with him. They eat together. She even adds sausages into his bowl, saying her family does that and she is sure he will like it. And he eats it all happily. She also pays for the food. Jien feels good. He thinks she is very cute. Meanwhile, we see Chin. He is a flirty boy. His mom catches him bringing a girl home and scolds him. She compares him to Jien again and again. Chin gets hurt and becomes jealous of Jien. He decides he will take everything Jien has. Mei's dad leaves, and she looks upset. The girl Jien's parents chose for him is Feng. She is successful, and they think she is perfect for him. Next, Mei's best friend Harry comes to stay with her. She becomes super happy. Then she goes to the shop again. This time Grandpa is not there, but Grandma welcomes her with love. Grandma always loved her. She just could never visit because Grandpa refused. After meeting Grandma, she leaves. Slowly, she plans to melt Grandpa's heart too. Later in the park, she meets Jien again. He offers to drop her home again and sees him and asks, "Is he the same boy who dropped you yesterday?" She smiles and says yes. In the next scene, Grandpa happily eats the food she brought. Even if he acts strict, he loves his granddaughter a lot. Now it is time for Jien's blind date arranged by his dad. He waits a long time, but Feng doesn't come. She arrives much later with a friend and learns Jien has left already. At another place, Jien again meets Mei. She introduces herself properly this time and invites him to eat with her. His mom calls Feng and asks about the blind date. Feng lies and says it went perfectly. Finally, Jien sits to eat with Mei. She gives him her favorite dishes. He tries them for the first time and finds them delicious. He never ate food like this before. Later, his mom calls again and says Feng really liked you. Jien also says she was a good girl. In the next scene, there was a special case in the hospital. As soon as he dealt with it, it was very late, and it was raining. As he was going home, his eyes fell on Mei. She was trying to save that same street dog from the rain. Even though it bit her, she still worried for it. That dog also gave birth to 2 puppies. So now Jien not only brings Mei home, but also that dog and the puppy. She got completely wet in the rain, so he gives her his clothes to wear. Mei laughs and says, "You know, this dog is more attached to you than me. And now it has 2 cute babies, so why don't you keep them? You live alone anyway. If you can't take care of them, then tell me. I will come to see them." Hearing this, he goes silent. His mind goes back to childhood. He always wanted to keep dogs, but his dad never allowed it. Dad used to say, "No need for these useless things. You will not focus on studies." He ignores that memory and puts medicine on her wound. Then he says, "I will think about keeping the dog." Mei smiles and leaves quietly. Later at family dinner, he meets Feng too. His parents invited her. They said since the blind date didn't work, at least they should get to know each other here. Jien's dad keeps showing attitude at the table. Feng notices everything and feels the same pain because her dad also controls her life. For Feng, Jien seems like a perfect guy. After dinner, when she leaves, her car hits someone, and the person she hit is no one else but Chin. That moment, Chin understands something. The girl his parents want him to marry is Feng, so he decides he will not let Feng enter Jien's life. He plans to trap her instead. Next day, Mei comes to see the puppies. Jien tells her he decided to adopt them. Mei gets so happy. At the hospital, he keeps smiling thinking about her, and nurses get shocked because no one ever saw him smile before. When they meet while jogging, Mei says, "You know how to bake cakes, right? Please teach me. I want to make a birthday cake for my dad." Jien agrees and tells her to come at noon. She comes with her aunt. But before entering, they see the neighbor girl who always tries to be close to Jien. She finds out Jien never ate the food she sent. She leaves heartbroken. Aunt gives Mei and Jien alone time and leaves. Jien teaches her cake making, but Mei ruins everything. He says, "Just stay quiet and watch me. Then you will learn." In the next scene, Chin comes there and meets Feng, pretending to be Jien's cousin. He says, "If you really like Jien and want a place in his heart, I will help you. But you have to meet me." Feng agrees. Meanwhile, the cake gets ready. Mei leaves to meet her grandpa at the shop, but he isn't there, only Grandma is. She gives cake and leaves. Jien drops her home. At the mall, he meets a client who praises his work. Chin and Feng are there too. Chin buys a drink for Feng, but bumps into Lin. He gets angry and says she ruined everything. She apologizes, but he still reacts rude. May gives him tissues to clean up. He thanks her, then Lin returns with a new drink. She leaves saying, better to stay away from these guys. Jien's mom gives sweets to Jien and tells him to give them to Feng when he meets her. Later at night, Mei comes again to see the puppies. Suddenly she slipped. Jien holds her and says, you should take care of yourself. I feel like you don't eat properly. From now on, you will eat dinner with me. After dinner, Jien drops Mei home. There, Aunt. Thanks Jien for taking care of Mei. She also asks him, how is Jien as a guy? She truly wants Mei to end up with someone good. She wants to come in a relationship with him, so she can if she wants. But then she smiles and tells Auntie, please don't think like that. We are just friends, nothing else. Jien then comes to give sweets to Feng because his mom told him. Feng gets very happy. She thinks maybe he cares for her. She does not know these sweets were from his mom. Not him. Mei now makes a routine. Every day she comes to see the puppies at his house, and he never stops her. They even eat food together sometimes. Mei's dad still misses his daughter a lot. When they come home, they see a lot of food is already ready, but Mei already ate with Jien, so she says no and leave. Mei keeps coming daily. She also learns cake making from him. One day her hair is fully open, so before cooking he quickly ties her hair. She tries to make bread but fails, so she decides she will learn it too. After baking, she goes to her grandpa's shop. She sees someone troubling her grandparents. Before that man disrespects them, Jien arrives from behind and tells him some rules and sends him away. Grandpa thanks him and even asks him to stay for food. When Grandpa asks, Jien introduces himself and says, I am Mei's boyfriend. Grandpa likes him a lot and tells them to stay and eat. Saying this, Grandpa goes to their room. Mei whispers happily that one day Grandpa will accept me for sure. Next day, Feng finds Jien's home address and comes, but she meets Mei there. While they are talking, Jien arrives. Feng leaves and Jien takes her to a restaurant instead of home for dinner. Feng understands Mei is someone important to him. If she wasn't, he would take her home at least once. Poor Mei waits at Jien's home for him, but he gets late because of an emergency. When he comes, she looks very tired. He takes her home and gives her house key. He says, if I am not home, you can still come anytime to see the puppy. He trusts her now. Next morning, Jien dreams his house is a total mess because of Mei. But when he wakes up, the house is clean. When Mei arrives, he tells her house rule. No going in the kitchen. No making mess. She laughs and promises, okay. I will only see puppies and then leave. A patient comes who does not want surgery. Her son cries and says, if mom doesn't do it, how will she get better? After a tiring day, Jien comes home and sees Mei sitting. She didn't cook food. She says, you told me not to go in the kitchen. He smiles and makes soup for her himself. Auntie worries a lot. She thinks Jien is a guy. No matter how good he is, what if something goes wrong? But Dad isn't worried. He was already watching Jien and saw how he cares for Mei. Dad realizes Jien is perfect for his daughter. While walking, Mei twists her ankle again. He sits and massages her foot. They are best friends now. She shares family problems with him, about grandparents being upset with her dad and her trying to fix everything. Next day, she visits Grandma again. Grandma packs food for her and says eat it and gives some to her dad too. At night, Jien's mom invites Feng's family for dinner. They all eat together. Mom says, Jien, drop Feng home later. But an emergency call comes, and he leaves quickly. Feng gets upset. While sitting alone, Chen appears and says her car is ready. He gives her a gift. She happily accepts it. When Jien comes home, he sees a note from Mei. She left food Grandma made for him. Jien's dad eats it and gets emotional. He thanks Mei for making him taste his mom's food again. At the hospital, Jien keeps learning bread making. Chen also practices, just for Mei. Everyone wonders what happened to Dr. Jien. How did he change so much so fast? He gets a call from the same patient who does not want to do her surgery. He feels so stressed because if she doesn't do it, how will she get better? Whatever problem he has, he shares with Mei. She tells him to make the patient feel comfortable like family. Maybe then she will agree for surgery. He knows that lady is an actress, and his mom was also an actress before, so he calls his mom to come to the hospital. When she arrives, the patient gets happy seeing her because they were friends long ago. She introduces Jien as her son and says he is the surgeon. She tells her not to worry and to get the surgery. Even the staff motivates her. Finally, the lady agrees to do the surgery. Jien calls his mom and thanks her. He also tells Mei that whatever she wants, he will treat her next time. She told him to bring food, and he brings it home quickly. Mei was waiting at the table and fell asleep. He covers her with a blanket and cares for her. He spends the night there. Next morning, when she she wakes up, he is making breakfast. He lifts her from the table gently. May praises him and says he is very kind and must get tired from so much work. Hearing this, he holds her hand and says nobody ever asked him how he feels, but she did. He thanks her. Day by day, feelings start growing in his heart. His friends notice it and think the girl he likes is not Foam because he is learning to make bread for someone who uses a high ponytail. When his friend says this, he blushes and walks away. They know they guessed right. When May reaches home, she sees a neighbor girl named Han. Han dresses like May, hoping Jian will like her, but he ignores her and takes May home. May learns cake baking too. Today is her dad's birthday. After making cake, she invites Jian also. He comes at night to wish her dad. Everyone enjoys and draws pictures together. Seeing drawings, Jian remembers his past, how he used to paint from heart, but his dad always said it was bad and gave low scores. May sees him sad and tries her best to make him smile. After the party, May's whole family comes to drop him home. Chin keeps meeting Foam whenever he gets free. Foam shares her feelings and worries too. Their bond also grows slowly. Jian also shares his heart and tells her about family situations. One day, May goes to meet a customer for work. Jian says he will drop her because he is free today. When she reaches her client, she sees someone celebrating a birthday. She notices Jian sitting sadly. She asks why, and he says today is his birthday. May decides to spend the whole day with him. She takes him to her favorite amusement park. First, they go to a ghost place and poor May screams badly and runs out. Jian looks cool and handsome there. They spend a nice day together. His clothes get wet, so he goes to buy new ones and even takes off his shirt. May almost touches his six-pack, but he stops her. Some girls take pictures and post them online. The outfits they buy are couple outfits. Jian can now make bread very fast, and he makes one for May too. Meanwhile, Foam comes to meet Jian, but the neighbor girl asks who she is. Foam says she is Jian's girl. Foam gets shocked that maybe Jian has a girlfriend, and he didn't tell anyone. She gets upset, thinking whenever she comes he is not available. Chin meets her, and they spend time joking. It becomes night. When May sees Jian sleeping, she tries to hold his hand, but Jian smiles softly. He was not sleeping, he was awake. She tells him to wait for her, and quickly comes back with a small cake. She wishes him happy birthday, and tells him to make a wish, and both start eating cake together. Next day, when her eyes open, she sees Chin next to her and gets shocked. Last night, she got very drunk, so Chin had to take care of her. She did not know where she lives, so he brought her to his apartment. She gets worried, thinking did something happen between us, but he tells her nothing happened. Don't worry. Now she feels relaxed that nothing happened, and at least they are still friends. Now those girls posted his photos on social media, and seeing that, his fan base went crazy. Wow, such a handsome doctor. Now there are long lines in the hospital. Foam also saw the news, and today she saw him with another girl and felt very bad. She avoids Chin and leaves. It was clear she was jealous. May sees that annoying neighbor again. She says, "Do you know Jian has a fiancé? When will you stop following him?" May ignores her and goes inside. Chin also comes and asks, "Did you feel bad seeing me with another girl? You never share your feelings with me. You only talk about Jian. I thought maybe you like him, but now I feel that's not true. You like me, right? Now you have to accept it." And both start kissing. He decided to make her his girlfriend. At night, she suddenly asks Jian, "Do you have a fiancé?" He clearly denies it. Hearing this, May gets very happy. That means Han was lying. Chin wanted to announce their relationship, but she refuses. His plan to win Fang's heart finally worked. Jian's dad saw Jian's viral photos and gets angry. He says, "What did you do? If the hospital kicks you out, then what about us? You ruined my respect." Poor Jian gets scolded. Then hospital director enters and says, "Why scolding him? Because of him, people are in lines outside the hospital. Fans are gathering for him." The director takes dad away. May comes to meet grandpa, but he ignores her and goes to eat somewhere else. That same man starts troubling grandpa again. Trying to protect him, May gets hurt in the hand. Seeing this, grandma gets worried and grandpa gives medicine and tells them to put it. Watching him care so much makes May feel really good that one day she will win their heart. She wears the dress her grandparents gave her and sees a grandma struggling to cross the road. Before she helps, Chin arrives and helps her. Jian is not feeling well, and mom invited him for dinner, but he refused and slept at home. When May heard he was unwell, she came with her dad. They finish all the work and eat together. Dad leaves so they can spend time alone. She takes care of him, and he asks, "Did you ever think about starting your own family or love?" She quietly listens. He holds her hand, pulls her close, and says, "If you never thought about love, then now you can think about it. She thinks maybe he is sick so saying this, but he said everything in his senses because he likes Mei so much. Mei blushes a lot. When Jian comes to pick her, she cannot make eye contact and is shy. Dad sees that man who always troubles grandparents and decides to teach him a lesson. Today Chen takes Fong shopping, but suddenly both see Jian hanging out with Mei. Rui also sees and finally meets the friend her bestie always talks about. She feels happy seeing he is a gentleman and kind-hearted. He was furious. He thought Jian only liked Fong and had even won her heart. But now he realizes the girl Jian likes is not Fong, it's Mei. His whole plan is falling apart. He had never lost before and always believed he could take away whoever Jian liked, but now it didn't seem possible. After dinner, they return home and see their dog is very sick. They rush to the doctor. Until the dog fully recovers, Mei decides to take the two little puppies to her home. The next morning, she brings them back and sees the dog is much better. His name is Olive. That same thug comes to apologize to Grandpa, asking for forgiveness for his behavior. Grandpa is confused why he suddenly changed. We see a flashback. Jian's dad came with his gang and warned the guy never to mess with that shop again. Because of the fear, he apologized to Grandpa. Mei gets a big order from a customer, so she works all night. She gets exhausted. Mei's family is away, and she accidentally grabbed Jian's house keys instead of her own. When she tries to go home, she realizes she cannot enter her house. She calls Rui, but she is far away. Then Jian calls, and she explains everything. Jian tells her she can go to his house and rest. When Jian comes home, Mei is asleep on his couch. He carefully carries her to his room and sleeps on the couch himself. Next morning, Mei wakes up and sees she slept in Jian's bed while he slept on the couch. She looks at him softly because he looks handsome even while sleeping. Suddenly, he opens his eyes and holds her hand. He even compliments the fragrance of her hair. She smiles shyly. Their small daily interactions continue. Suddenly, Chen appears at the door. Mei opens it, and he introduces himself as Jian's cousin. Jian doesn't like Chen and wants Mei to stay away from him. Chen offers to drop her home, but Jian refuses and says he will take her himself. In the car, Jian asks her what kind of guys she likes. She says, definitely not like Chen. Just then, Rui arrives, and Mei leaves with her. Rui gets excited when she hears Mei stayed at Jian's house, asking if anything happened. Mei says, nothing happened. Stop imagining. I only stayed there because of the key issue. Mei's family returned from their trip. Aunt proudly tells everyone that Jian let Mei stay at his place when she forgot her keys, and he even assured the family she was safe. Aunt feels relieved now and sees him as a kind-hearted gentleman. After spending time with his parents, Jian decides he will tell them he has no interest in Fong and doesn't want to marry her. But before he speaks, Aunt interrupts. She hears Jian's parents are soon going to England and gets jealous. She tells his dad she saw a suspicious man near their house recently. Dad starts to worry and gets tense. We get a small hint that Jian's dad has a secret past we will learn about later, but we can tell he deeply cares for his son, even if he doesn't show it. Later, Mei's family is having dinner together when they see the same neighbor who is being troubled by debt collectors. They help him and send the collectors away legally. Aunt looks very stressed. She used to say bad things about them, but now that she knows they're victims of Dub, she decides to help. Hearing this, she becomes emotional and says, "You people are so good. I always misunderstood you." At that moment, Jian's dad starts getting flashbacks again, and his condition worsens. His wife comforts him, saying, "Now stop being depressed, move forward in life." Next day, Mei gets a call from Jian. He's making cake for the dog, so he calls her for help. As soon as he comes close to her, her heartbeat becomes fast, and noticing this, Jian asks, "What happened? Why are you reacting like this?" She says, "Nothing happened," but he doesn't believe her. Suddenly, both see that outside Fong has entered. As soon as Fong sees Mei at Jian's house, she feels jealous again, thinking something is going on between them. Seeing them together repeatedly makes her jealous. She thinks maybe Dub was right, that Jian likes another girl. Jian, sitting outside, tells Fong, "Our marriage cannot happen. Very soon I'll talk to my parents, so there's no need for you to come here." Also, Jian says, "You are not my type at all." Hearing this, Fong gets angry. For the first time, she was being rejected by a boy. Now she understood he already liked Mei, and that was why he was showing attitude. She started criticizing Mei. Meanwhile, a puppy peed on her shoes and ran away. Seeing this, Jian apologized, but she angrily sat in her car and tried calling Chen, but he wasn't answering. He had already kept an eye on her car and was waiting outside Jian's house. When she was leaving, Jian stops her and said, "Come, I'll drop you home." As he came to drop her, the scene shifted to Mei's house in Baria, and Chen also saw Mei. Now Mei started realizing she was truly beginning to like Jian. Aunt asked, "You only like him, or do you love him too?" Mei said, "I don't know how to tell." Aunt suggested, "Go somewhere for a few days or to your hometown. Stay away from him. If you miss him, then you'll know it's love." Mei agreed immediately. Next, she reached her hometown and messaged Jian that she wouldn't be able to visit for a few days. Hearing this, Jian felt very sad and couldn't focus on work. When his friends noticed, they asked what happened. He said, "The girl I like went away for a few days." They asked who the girl was and reminded him not to live for his parents' approval. Choose happiness instead. His friends were really good. His mom and dad were going to Canada. When he came to see them off, for the first time, he said, "I don't like Feng and will not marry her. There is another girl I love." Dad was shocked and asked, "Who is the girl? What do her parents do? What if I don't like her?" Jian replied, "Whether you like her or not, I've already decided, and this time I won't step back." Dad was surprised to see such courage in his son. Meanwhile, Jian missed Mei a lot. He sent her puppy photos, and she became happy. He even went outside her house, but she hadn't returned yet, so he decided to go to her hometown. Mei also missed him a lot. When Dad came, she said, "I've started liking Jian." Dad told her, "Confess your love once. If he rejects you, it's okay. At least you were sincere." On the other side, when Feng found out that Chen approached her only to insult Jian because he always wanted to see Jian fail, she became very sad. Chen ended their so-called relationship, saying, "From now on, you won't meet me, and I won't meet you," and left. Hearing this, she was deeply hurt. Finally, Jian arrived to meet Mei. Seeing him, she became very happy and quickly asked, "That girl Feng who came to your house, do you like her?" He clearly denied it. Before Mei could say anything, Jian confessed his love and said, "I've compromised many things in life, but this time, I won't compromise on you." Saying this, he kissed her. Mei's whole family watched this moment and felt happy for both. Jian had already taken permission from her dad, and why would dad refuse? Instead, he smiled and said, "Now take care of my daughter in my place." Saying goodbye, he was going back. Next day, when he reaches the hospital smiling, his friends get shocked, and when they ask, he tells that the girl he likes finally knows his feelings. Hearing this, his friends are the happiest that finally he took a decision. Mei's grandpa was missing his granddaughter a lot. Many days had passed, and she hadn't come to visit. Meanwhile, he fell down and got hurt. As soon as Mei's grandma told this to Mei, she ran to see her grandpa, and seeing her, their happiness was worth watching. The three of them ate together. Later, she called Jian and told him that because Grandpa fell and got hurt, she couldn't meet him yet. Otherwise, she had already returned to the city. Hearing this, he started asking about Grandpa's condition and said, "Tomorrow I'll take Grandpa to a very good doctor I know." That night, he decided to stay at Mei's grandparents' place. At night, when she was sleeping, Grandpa covered her with a blanket. She was awake and felt very touched. The next morning, she ate breakfast with her grandparent, and Mei's dad was secretly watching this. Actually, he had planned all this with his daughter. He couldn't come in front because mom and dad were still angry and their anger hadn't ended yet. Later, Jian also came to visit. Grandpa didn't want to go to the hospital, but they forcefully took him. Here Grandma saw her son and got emotional. Grandma had never been angry at her son. She was only quiet because of Grandpa. Today, she finally got the chance to meet him. When Grandpa was taken for some tests, Jian brought Mei to a cafe to feed her. As soon as his colleagues saw them, they came and sat near Mei, so Jian pulled her close. Meanwhile, Grandpa was remembering his son, pretending not to care, but deep down he really did. He was emotional and worried about how his son was doing. His condition was getting worse day by day. Later, Jian and Mei made food for Grandpa, and Grandpa was very happy. They talked about an upcoming festival, and after that Mei went to the lake. Jian gave her a small gift, and she was very happy. She always accepted whatever he gave with love. Now about Chen, he often came to his cousin's house to find out where Mei was. Jian warned him to stay away from his girl. "I know your mission," he said. "Every time you try to take the girl close to me, but this time I won't let it happen." Mei was rushing during an emergency when suddenly a bike hit a car, and from that car, Chen came out. He purposely took her to the hospital, saying, "I'll treat you." She said she was fine. Chen's mom often came to her sister's house, and though she wasn't there, she came this time. She heard servants talking that a man comes asking for Big Sir. Hearing this, she felt something strange. As soon as she saw that person, she stopped him and asked everything. Mei's dad always went to see Grandpa, but still didn't have the courage to talk. Today, Chen had done everything on purpose, so Mei messaged Jian and Dad says, I made mistakes, so they're still angry. But I know one day they'll forgive me. Every parent has a different way to show love. My parents always wanted me to build a good family, good career, good future, but maybe I didn't meet their expectations. Still, I believe one day my hard work will show results and they'll allow me to enter my own house. Hearing this, Jian remembers his own dad, how he also scolds him for his better future. From this, Jian understood that maybe every parent shows love differently. Now he decided for sure to make Mei meet his parents. He said to her, be ready. Very soon they're coming back. At night, when he called his dad to ask about his health, his dad started talking only about that girl. How is she? Will we like her or not? Jian said, just trust me. Mei will match all your expectations. Now we see Chen's mom. After meeting that stranger, she was very happy. She got a piece of news in her hands and was waiting for the right time to spread it everywhere. What that news is, we'll find out later. At the hospital, Feng come to meet Jian. She was regretting, saying, I wish I had chosen you instead of Chen. She apologized. Behind your back, I used to hang out with your cousin. Jian calmly said, whatever had to happen already happened. When she was leaving Jian's house, she met Chen. He offered to drop her home, but she refused at first. He quickly called Jian. Jian said, he's my cousin and annoying, but if he's offering a lift, go ahead. I trust he won't do anything wrong. Hearing this, she felt relieved and agreed. Today, she also met Mei's dad. After eating, they left and went to a mall, where she again met Feng. When Jian joined them, Feng became angry. When I asked you to come with me, you had no time. But now, when Mei is here, you have all the time. After finishing work, when Jian reached home, Mei was waiting there. He felt happy that when he's not home, she takes care of the puppies. They started making cake together. He even tied her hair gently, and they came very close, teasing each other. When he kissed her, Mei blushed. The next day, a special case came to the hospital, and it was Mei's dad. Jian got shocked seeing him. Later, we see how some thieves had attacked Grandpa's shop, and Dad saw it. When he tried to stop them, one of the thieves attacked him. When Mei found out her dad was hospitalized, she rushed to see him. It was difficult for Jian to operate, but he didn't give up. Later, he comforted Mei, saying, don't worry. Uncle will be fine soon. No need to worry too much. Later, Mei said to Jian, if I knew you were doing my dad's surgery, I wouldn't have worried at all, because she trusts him so much. Seeing them hugging, Jian's friends left quietly. Someone then sent pictures showing Jian and Mei dating. That person sent all the pictures to Jian's dad and called to explain, saying it happened by mistake. He actually meant to send them to Jian. Seeing this, Jian's dad gets angry and thinks, so this is the girl he liked. He decides to do a full investigation. Jian was responsible for taking care of Mei's dad, and Mei also stayed there. The next day, he brings her home and tells her again, don't worry. Your dad will be fine soon. She thinks, my parents have accepted him, but will his parents accept me? They were coming back soon, and now she couldn't imagine living without Jian. Next day, finally her dad regains consciousness. Everyone comes to see him. Then Grandpa also enters. Seeing Grandpa, Mei becomes so happy. He could no longer stay away from his son. Whatever mistake happened, Grandpa finally forgave him. When Jian is making Mei's braid in front of everyone, they feel jealous and praise. You both look like a perfect couple. Jian's friends liked Mei a lot. They all eat together happily. Finally, the day comes to meet Jian's parent. Mei gets ready and Jian comes to pick her up. At the airport, first Chen comes to receive his mom and dad. Then Jian also arrives with Mei. Seeing Mei, Jian's dad's reaction isn't good. Maybe because he already found out about her background, that she isn't from a high-status family. She steps back to let Jian hug his mom properly, and seeing that moment makes Jian's mom very happy. Jian softly asks Mei if she feels hurt that his dad didn't react nicely. She smiles and says, it's okay, he just needs some time to understand me. I can wait. Later, Jian finally tells his dad his decision. He says that even if his dad doesn't approve Mei, it won't change anything. Hearing this, his dad gets angry and declares that Mei will never become his daughter-in-law. But the gift Mei had given Jian gives him strength. He has already made up his mind. If he has to fight his dad for Mei, he will. His dad then says that if Mei had some special quality worth accepting, maybe he could think about it. But clearly he already has a plan in mind. That day, Jian decides to stay with his parents for a while. He asks his mom what she thinks about Mei. She says, if your dad agrees, I have no problem. I'm just waiting for his answer. Then his dad instructs them to arrange a big birthday party for him in 2 weeks. Everyone is surprised since he never asks for anything like that before. Clearly, he is planning something. At the party, Chen randomly runs into Feng again. Chen's mom still wants him to marry Feng, but Feng refuses. She doesn't want to go back to that past. Meanwhile, a guy who sees Feng crying in the elevator gives her his handkerchief. He likes her personality very much, and he falls for her at first sight. Chen often comes to visit May's house these days. Even May feels happy seeing him. The poor guy doesn't get any love from his family, so he just comes here to feel some warmth from her family. Dad even invited him to have dinner together. Meanwhile, this guy named Ziyu confessed his love to Feng, saying, "What are your intentions toward me?" She had already been betrayed once and wanted to start a new life, so she said, "What's wrong with trying once again?" and decided to become his girlfriend. May never hides anything from Jian, so she also told him about Chen's visit. Anyway, Jian completely trusts her. He told her, "My dad's birthday is coming soon, so you must come." He even told Aunt that he's taking May to the party, so she should help her get ready. When May finally got ready, she looked very pretty. Our hero couldn't take his eyes off her. Then both of them left together. In the next scene, we see the birthday party. As soon as Jian brought May there, she had prepared a small gift for his dad. But Jian's dad didn't like it at all. Still, he asked his wife to accept it, and she did. May looked especially happy meeting Jian's mom, who was an actress, and May's entire family is fan of her. Jian's dad stopped Jian, saying guests were arriving, so he should go greet them. As May moved aside, Chen came to keep her company. Meanwhile, a waitress accidentally spilled something all over May's dress. She apologized, saying, "Please forgive me, or they'll fire me." Then she gave her one of her own spare waitress dresses, saying she'd wash May's dress and return it later. Chen's mom had gotten very drunk. She started scolding her son, saying, "You'll never achieve anything in life." May overheard everything and felt bad for Chen, seeing how difficult his situation was. He was also upset, thinking, "Dad has kept me trapped here for so long. Where has May gone? I should find her." As May was carrying some drinks, the same waitress deliberately pushed her. Before she could fall, Jian quickly caught her. But the person behind all this was none other than his dad. He had found out that May's family background wasn't great and wanted to insult her in front of everyone. Jian got furious. "How can you treat a guest like this?" he shouted. Dad kept criticizing May's family, but just then, Aunt arrived. She never wanted anyone to speak against her daughter. She got angry, but May calmed her down and pulled her aside. May said, "Those people are more petty than us. Because of me, Jian is fighting with his dad, and his mom is hurt seeing her husband and son upset with each other. No matter what happens, Aunt, the most important thing for me is Jian. If he loves me, that's enough." Aunt got angry at Chen, thinking he must have told Jian's dad about their financial situation. May said, "No, that's not possible." Even if Chen did say something, maybe he only shared what he goes through himself. His mom always compares him to Jian. Maybe he felt jealous, but don't be mad at him. He just needs a family too. If he comes here sometimes, we can't stop him. Hearing that, Chen felt deeply moved that at least someone understood him. May's mom also overheard everything and decided to support her son no matter what. She said, "If he truly loves this girl, I won't interfere in their relationship." Before leaving, Aunt said, "If I said anything wrong, please forgive me," and asked Jian to take care of his dad. Then she left with her. After that, Jian's mom told him, "I want to go home. We'll talk there." When Jian's dad came back from the party, Jian couldn't control his anger anymore. He said, "I've never asked you for anything, but I just want to marry the girl I love." "Why are you so angry about that? Why did you humiliate her in front of everyone? What was your reason?" He wasn't going to stay quiet anymore. Dad said, "I gave you everything so you could live a good life, but now you're scolding me just because of that girl? The one you're calling, her name is May. And through her, I finally understood the real meaning of love. How could I ever leave her?" Hearing this, Jian's dad got furious and started hitting him. Jian's mom couldn't bear to watch anymore. When Jian's dad told her to leave the house, she said, "Fine, I'll go with him." She couldn't speak for her son before, but this time, she wasn't going to stay silent. After Feng left Chen's life, he became quiet and lonely. He really missed her. Deep down, he was heartbroken, but never accepted his feeling. Jian's mom only had one request for him. "Can you take me to meet May's family? I want to apologize to them for how my husband treated them." The next day, when she visited May's dad and family, they behaved very kindly. Jian had never seen his mom this happy before. Meanwhile, Chen's mom found out that her husband was cheating on her with the same girl who used to visit her sister's husband often. At first, she got angry at him, saying, "How could you do this?" But their son stepped in to calm her down. Then dad left home with his mistress. Chen went straight to Jian and said, "Look what your dad has done." Jian was shocked, asking, "What are you talking about? What did my dad do?" Hearing their argument, the staff gathered to stop the fight. After that, Jian helped treat Chen's wounds and bandaged him. Then he asked in detail, "How did you find out my dad caused your mom's heartbreak?" Chen said, "That girl who used to visit your house. Your dad's student. He must have told her to seduce my dad." Jian said, "You've misunderstood. My dad would never do such a thing. I know your mom always compares you to me. You even thought that any girl who comes into my life, you'll take her from me. Please stop this. My life isn't easy either. You can't imagine how it feels. I always bring home good grades, but dad never praises me. Please stop competing with me. I only see you as my brother." Hearing that, Chin got emotional. "So I've always misunderstood you, but not anymore. I'll never compete with you again." After that, he went straight to May's family and said, "Maybe you thought I told my dad about your background, but that's not true." They believed him, and he felt happy that someone finally trusted him. Just then, Fong found out that the person she was dating was actually married and even had a son. She immediately rejected him, saying, "Don't ever meet me again. I'll never live as someone's mistress." In the next scene, we see May grandma's health got worse, and May cried a lot seeing her condition. It was all because of stress. She said to Jian, "I hope your mom doesn't end up like this too. All this fighting in your family, it's because of me." Jian comforted her, saying, "It's not like that. Mom still calls the housemaids sometimes to check on dad." Jian noticed everything. Later, she told him she wanted to break up. "I don't want your family to stay separated because of me. Take your mom back to your dad." But he said, "It's not what you think. I'll find a way soon." Hearing this, May felt happy and said, "If you've come into my life, everything will be fine now. I'll be the first one to propose marriage to you." Grandpa, who overheard everything, said, "What's this? No girl has ever proposed before. How can you think like that?" And just when Jian was about to kiss her, Grandpa saw the whole scene. Later, when Chen's mom came home and found the house empty, she broke down. Her husband had taken all the money and run away with the mistress. She became very emotional. Meanwhile, at a conference, Jian's dad came to give a speech. But then an old friend stood up and said, "The thing you feared has now become real. Everyone, listen, I committed a murder with him, but all the blame fell on me. Look, he's living freely, successful in life, while I went to jail and lost everything. Is this justice?" Security quickly dragged the man out, but since the media was there, the rumors began to spread everywhere. So the university professor, Mr. Han, who's also a writer, he had already committed a murder before and all that. He was so fed up with his life that he went back to the same place where he used to live before. It was a temple. That night, he decided to stay there and got lost in his old memories. Jian's dad used to be an orphan. Jian had also heard all the news and was really worried about him. When he asked Jian's mom, she told him everything. "Actually, your dad was an orphan. He didn't have many friends. One day, a boy came into his life who treated him very kindly. But the principal had already warned him to stay away from that boy because his company wasn't good. His friends were involved in bad activity. For studies, he often needed money to buy books. Once, he mentioned this in front of that same friend. His friend then said, 'We have a gang. If you want, you can join us. We'll give you money too.' Those people used to attack cars, steal money, and take whatever they could. Han didn't like this work at all, so he refused to go with them again. Later, when he came to stop them from committing another crime, they ended up killing the principal's wife. Police soon arrived to catch them. The principal took Han's side, saying, 'He's a good person. He could never do this.' So Han was saved, and his friends went to jail. While telling all this, Jian's mom got emotional. That's your dad's past, which he never shared with anyone. Now everyone was worried because dad had left home. They didn't know how to find him. May suggested, 'Why don't we trace his credit card to see where he last used it?' When mom checked, they found he'd gone to a temple. They quickly went there, but by the time they arrived, he had already left. Meanwhile, Chen went to meet Fong again. He said, 'At first, I approached you for selfish reasons, but now I'm truly sincere about you. So why don't we forget the past and start fresh?' Fong agreed, and they made up. At the same time, May was talking to Jian, saying, 'We're searching for your dad. Don't worry. You just focus on your surgery.' Suddenly, she saw dad boarding a boat. She made an excuse and got on the boat too. Dad was shocked. 'What are you doing here? Can you ever do anything properly?' She immediately called her dad and said, 'I'm with Jian's dad. We're on a boat.' But just then, her phone fell into the water. Dad informed Mom. May mentioned something about being on a boat. Mom realized which place it could be. While Jian was performing surgery, another doctor told him, 'You should go. Your family needs you right now. We'll handle things here.' So he rushed to the beach. There, people said May was seen with his dad. May had been talking nonstop, giving Dad a headache. But all she wanted was for him to accept her as his daughter-in-law. She tried everything to win his heart. While coming back, she went near a baby pig to touch it, and suddenly, the big pig started chasing her. Dad grabbed her hand and they both ran. Meanwhile, the whole family arrived looking for them. Dad refused to go back with them. Mom tried to convince him, saying, I know you care about status and don't want me as your daughter-in-law, but have you ever thought about your son's happiness? He was never truly happy before. Since May entered his life, he smiles, he laughs, I've seen it myself. Right there on the beat, the pigs started chasing them again. But when they finally returned, Dad agreed to go back with the family. They brought him home and said, until reporters keep bothering you, don't worry, you can stay with us. Later, Dad went to see off his mistress, who was leaving abroad. He told her, I'll come back to you soon. But at that moment, Chin and Chen's mom walked in. Dad said, I never got any happiness from your mom. She always scolded and insulted me. I just wanted a wife who could live happily with me, but she never was. Anyway, it doesn't matter now, I've found my woman. He also said, and if you think I met this girl because of Jian's dad, you're wrong. I already knew her from before, and I fell in love with her long ago. After saying this, he left from there. Mom, poor thing, was now apologizing to her son, saying, maybe I scolded you too much. Do you also want to leave me like your dad did? Did I never give you happiness? He said, it's not like that. I always want to stay with you. Hearing this, Mom became a little emotional. Meanwhile, Dad was asking his son, Jian, you must feel embarrassed, right? Seeing what kind of father you have. He said, not at all. I feel proud because of you. You're the reason I became a good doctor. He started encouraging his dad, saying, now whatever the situation is, you have to handle it. Why don't you tell everyone your side of the story? That way everyone will know you're innocent. May's dad was also motivating him, saying, we'll support you. They arranged the live streaming and all. Finally, standing in front of the media, he started explaining everything. What you all are thinking is wrong. I didn't kill anyone. I was misled by a friend, but I actually went there to stop them from hurting anyone. I had no part in the murder. Suddenly, everyone noticed the principal's son, who was also present during that incident. He came forward and said to the media, Mr. Han is absolutely right. I saw it with my own eyes. He was only there to stop his friend. He was never involved in any of it. So finally, his name was cleared. In the next scene, we see both couples spending time together, looking very happy. May came to Jian's house and asked for permission, saying, now that you're completely mine, can I touch your six-pack abs? He laughed and said, of course, I'm all yours, and then lifted her and took her to his room. Next morning, Dad called and said, I'm coming to meet you today. He had just learned that his son could cook. He said, whenever you feel like it, make something for me and send it. Jian had even kept some puppies, and Dad had no problem with that either. On his way back, Dad saw one of his old friends stealing again. He went to the jail to meet him and said, when will you stop doing all this? I've always considered you my real friend. The reason I became a writer is because of you. You encouraged me. I came that day to stop you, not to join you. But you didn't listen. I wish I had reached earlier. Then you wouldn't be in jail today. I never had bad intentions for you. Hearing this, his friend's eyes filled with tears. He said, when you get out of jail this time, make sure to come meet me. Your friend will always be waiting for you, and I'll help you get a good job. Hearing that, his friend smiled. The misunderstanding between them was finally clear. In the next scene, we see Jian's family visiting, and at the same place, Chin and Chen's mom also arrive. Mom apologized to her sister, saying, I've always been jealous of you. Please forgive me. It won't happen again. Her sister smiled and said, it's okay. You're my sister after all. Their long-standing conflict finally ended. After handling everything, the whole family celebrated together. In front of everyone, May proposed to Jian for marriage, but she had forgotten the ring. Then Jian pulled out a ring from his pocket, surprising her. It was a beautiful ring, and he put it on her finger. Everyone started cheering for them, happy for their happiness. Finally, May found her real-life charming prince. With that, the scene ended. In the next part, we see Jian and May after their wedding, living happily. It was Valentine's Day, and May gifted herself to Jian. He was so happy and touched by the cute and sweet gesture. They had even started planning for babies. And with this happy moment, the drama ends. Thank you so much for watching.